Welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. The information on the channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. And today we are going to be taking a look at the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Mega Figure Titan Joker. But first, if you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunching them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. If that's your sort of thing, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and hit that bell notification icon so you stay notified when I do upload new content. If you do enjoy this video or any other videos that I put out, please remember to give them a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. With all of that out of the way, guys, once again we are going to be taking a look at the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Mega Figure Titan Joker. If you don't know where this version of the Joker is from, he is from the Arkham Asylum video game. So spoiler alert for anything having to do with that game going forward in this video. He is essentially the final boss battle that you fight to end the game. So if you don't know what Titan is, it's essentially a combination of Venom, yes, the stuff that Bane uses, and the Joker's laughing gas chemical type thing. So yeah, essentially it's a pretty fucked up deadly mix, and he experiments with it by, you know, injecting his own men and everything, and at the end of it he says fuck it, kind of like Thanos in that end credit scene. I think it's Avengers 2 or something, where he just grabs a gauntlet and he's like, I'll do it myself. You know, that's exactly what the Joker says, and he essentially shoots himself in the head or the neck with a Titan dart, and yeah, we get this monstrosity right here. Now, there is a lot of debate whether it's a good or a bad version of the Joker. A lot of people don't like it. I absolutely love it. I think this is something that the Joker would do to beat Batman. You know, he knows that he is not physically capable of beating him on the same level. But, you know, the Joker is just that crazy that he's willing to go to these lengths to somehow maybe beat Batman. But obviously, of course, Batman gets the best of him, and essentially the only way that he's able to beat Joker in this form is that he uses the explosive gel that he has in the game. He basically just lathers it all up on his knuckles, runs at Joker, punches him in the face, it explodes on contact, knocks the Joker out, and I think it breaks Batman's hand in the video game if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so that's essentially the background of this figure. But he has had a separate release or a previous release when they were going through the figures when the video game was released. However, now that figure alone is going for about $100 to $200. So I'm super happy and excited that Todd did re-release this guy. However, this is a very hard to find figure at the moment. I'm sure distribution will get better as time goes on, but for the current moment, it seems like every Target is only getting one of these and one Clayface, because that's just the way it seems. Like, I found one Clayface, but no other Titan Jokers, and the people that have found the Titan Joker and the Clayface at the same time, I've messaged them and I've asked, are there other ones? And they've said, no, there's only one. So I'm feeling like right now there's only one in each store, but I'm sure eventually the distribution will get better, as with all McFarlane figures. Let's go ahead and take a look at all the stuff that this guy comes with. So he does, of course, come with the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse stand right there. And of course, he does come with a trading card. There's the front. Go ahead and flip it around to the back, and whoa, that's a long one, so you guys can go ahead and pause the video if you guys want to read that. But with that being said, that is it. He does not come with any other accessories. I really wish he would have come with, you know, some fisted hands, but unfortunately no. And I really wish his fingers would have been a little more articulated. I feel like this figure would have benefited from articulation in the fingers. However, once again, there is no articulation in the fingers. But before we start diving too deep into articulation, why don't we go ahead and pull this guy forward, so that way we can get a nice closer look at him. Because I'll be honest, I think this has to be one of the best looking McFarlane toys that we've gotten, if not the best, right there next to that brand new Dark Knight Returns Batman, because this guy just looks completely just horrific. I mean, look at him, from the venom veins to the exposed flesh and the bone popping out. Like, man, this is just one horrendous looking fucking figure, and it's just beautiful in my eyes. Now, there is one major downside to this figure, and we will get into it when we talk about articulation, because it's in the form of the articulation. So but yeah, let's continue looking at this figure. He does have the purple pants right here that are all torn up, kind of reminiscent of the Incredible Hulk if you really think about it. But yeah, like I said, you do get these nice venom veins running all throughout his chest and his shoulders and his bicep. I do like that Todd actually painted them this time, unlike in the Bane that we got in that Build-A-Figure set, where he should have had a few painted neon veins, but he didn't. So I'm happy that he actually did that with this Joker. But yeah, you know, you look at his forearms right here, the bone and everything, and man, that is just gnarly looking. Look at that. The back, his spine. Now these are soft, as you can see. They do bend and move real easily. These ones are a little more stiff, but they are still a bit of a softer plastic. So if he falls, he's not going to break. Same thing with the Mohawk. It's a bit of a stiffer plastic, but not completely stiff. So with that being said, guys, why don't we go ahead and move on into articulation? Because I will give it to Todd. For these mega figures, he is completely knocking it out of the park with the articulation. Usually with figures this big, their articulation is very limited. However, he has managed to give them quite some good articulation, despite them being these larger figures. However, like I said, he is lacking in one point in his articulation. Well, he's not lacking in it because he has it, but the articulation itself is a weak one. So we'll get to that when we get to it. So let's go ahead and take a look at his articulation. He can look all the way to the right, all the way to the left. And the cool thing about this guy is that he actually can look down pretty significantly right there. And then if you just move his head, he can look basically straight up, because it's kind of weird. He hunches over it quite a bit, so it doesn't look like he's looking up, but if you sit him straight up, he's looking up. You see what I mean? So if he's hunched over, he's just right there. But for it being a mega figure and everything, he does have some really good head articulation, head wobble right there, as you can see, side to side. The cool thing is that the head's a bit of a softer plastic. I don't know if you can see, it actually like bends and moves and stuff like that, so it's a little more articulated and everything, so that's nice. He will go out to a T-pose. However, Todd did take away that bicep swivel right there, which does come in handy. You do get a butterfly joint in there though, 360 rotation at the shoulder joint, double hinge elbows, which is nice, especially considering he's been taking away double hinge elbows from the regular 7-inch figures. It's nice to know that at least the mega figures are still getting those. He does rotate at the wrist right there, hinge in and out. There's no up and down with this one unless you rotate it this way and go up and down, but it's not like the other ones where it's a ball peg and you can go every which way. But taking a look at his abdomen, he will rotate at the upper portion as well as the lower portion, and unlike most McFarlane figures, he does have an ab crunch, which allows him to ab crunch really well. I mean, as you can see, he can essentially sniff his own balls. So yeah, that's a really good ab articulation downward. Backwards, not so much. It's kind of caught and stuck there. So yeah, you can't move him back any further than that. But taking a look at his lower leg articulation, he does have a bit of a thigh cut, or a thigh swivel, I should say, inwards, as you can see, but not so much outwards, just slightly. He does have a bit of that diaper look right here with the pants, but I'll let it pass because his articulation is really good. As you can see, he can kick out that far. He can not kick back at all, but he does come with double hinge knees right there, so he'll kick back that far. And last but not least, his ankle articulation will go down that far, up that far, ball rocker hinge. Notice how easily I move those ankles, and of course, toe articulation. So notice how easily those toes or those ankles moved, because remember that thing I was saying that sucks about this guy? It's his ankles. Yes, his ankles are so loose. It's so disappointing. Such an amazing figure. I don't know why Todd constantly, consistently drops the ball like this. Like with the Dark Knight Returns figure, it's an amazing looking figure, yet he takes away some pretty key articulation points, which honestly knocks it out of the running for the best McFarlane toy ever. But it does still have the running for best looking McFarlane toy ever, although this one is going to give it a run for his money. But yeah, as you can see, he does stand, but if you push too much on those ankles, he just falls flat on his face, and it's just so disappointing because you would want this guy to have really good ankles to support this massive weight, especially since his legs are so skinny and his upper body is a lot heavier and thicker. You really need those supportive, thick, ratchet ankles rather than these ball ones, which just consistently have him fall forward on his face. So yeah, guys, that's the only thing that I have to say about this figure that I don't like. Well, that and the lack of bicep swivel up here. But other than that, I absolutely love this guy. He looks so menacing. Unfortunately, he does come with one side eye, which is odd because this one is looking at you straight, where this one is the side eye. So yeah, I might have my friend Robert at least paint that one straight so that they're evenly looking straight. I don't know. We'll see. But with that being said, guys, join me every Sunday morning for Coffee and Toys, a weekly Toy News Toy Talk podcast where we will go over all the latest and great toy news, reveals, pre-orders, and so much more. And join me every Wednesday over on Instagram for Coffee and Toys Live, a weekly live show where I will speak to a new guest about toys, toy hunting, toy photography, toy collecting, and so much more. With that being said, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at some really cool pics that I took of this guy. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a great fucking day. Real quick, guys, before we get into the pictures, I did want to do a quick size comparison. I don't normally do these, but I do happen to have another McFarlane Toys right here handy next to me because I'm going to be doing a review, as well as a Mezco toy, so I will go ahead and pull that one forward as well. But I do want to show you what this mega figure Joker looks like next to a standard size McFarlane figure and a standard size Mezco figure. So if you have a Mezco Batman, he will definitely tower over him. Even the McFarlane Batmans will be towered over, and as you can see, he is just huge in terms of height wise. Definitely not thick wise, but height wise he towers over these people. So yeah, he definitely will be a great addition to your collection, especially if you do toy photography. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into those pics. Thank you so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you enjoyed those pics, you can find the full images over on Instagram at CoolFigurez. And I do have a separate Instagram account for my more thought out, planned out, more edited pics called Epic Shots by CoolFigurez. Check it out. If you like what you see, leave me a follow there as well. And if you guys want to see the unboxing of any figures I do reviews on for this channel, go ahead and check me out over on TikTok at CoolFigurez. That's where I post all my unboxings. And join me every Sunday morning for Coffee and Toys, a weekly Toy News Toy Talk podcast where we will go over all the latest and great toy news, reveals, pre-orders, and so much more. If you did enjoy this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. But whether or not you're a subscriber, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really appreciate it. As always, I'm your host, Jess the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thank you so much to this channel sponsor, VRare Store. Check them out for all your Funko Pop, anime, Pokemon card, and toy print needs. And of course, use code CoolFigurez at checkout for 10% off your order. VRare Store. Check them out, guys.